Alright guys, so this podcast is going to be a little bit different. It's not working out. I'm not cooking. It's this. If it zooms. Learn how to build self-esteem and confidence. I want to go ahead and go over these steps very briefly. Not going to go into much detail like I did on my podcast. So if you guys want to know a little bit more about it, go ahead, go over to my podcast at The Movement by Austin Fisher. It's on Spotify. So go ahead and check them out. I'm trying to figure out how to put my other podcast, but try to learn how to put this podcast on the Apple Podcast. But in this video, we're going to go ahead and just go over everything and just trying to spread this word, because a lot of people don't have self-esteem and confidence. They lost it along the way, man. I wrote everything here on the computer, so if it does sound like I'm reading off of something, well, I am. So we'll go here like this, so you guys can see everything on what I'm reading off of. So topic, like I mentioned, how to build self-esteem and confidence. A lot of people, they do get these two terms mixed up a lot, and they also think that they mean the same. Well, they don't. Confidence is a term we use to describe how we feel about our ability to perform roles. Self-esteem, on the other behalf, is how we feel about ourselves. And I will go further in depth into this. So the first thing is, this is something you are not born with. Okay, you have to. This is an art, and you have to build this craft and work on it every day. Learn to talk to people that you want the same mindset as. You have to learn to accept for who you are and who you look up like. Wow. You want the same mindset as. You have to learn to accept who you are and what you look like. I have talked about accepting on my last podcast called Letting Go of Regret. If you want to know about that, please head over to my Spotify, as I mentioned before, The Movement Podcast by Austin Fisher. Just called The Movement Austin Fisher. The next step into this is, so what is self-confidence? Self-confidence can mean different things to different people. In reality, it simply means having faith in yourself, okay? Now that you know what self-confidence is, you now have to go back to day one, when you were born. And I say this because this is the first day where everybody's feeding you this kind of information. Hey, man, you can do it, man. You can do it. And then somewhere along the road, they tell you that you can't. So this is why I tell you need to go back to day one. Who were the people that you supported? Who were the people that supported you? And who were the people that downgrade you? If you didn't have nobody that supported you when you were growing up, if you can possibly confront the people that didn't support you and ask them why they didn't support you during the journey that you wanted to take, and now that you can't take it, you're on a different journey. And ask them why. Were you afraid of me failing and you just didn't want to watch me to do that? Or were you afraid of me succeeding so high and leave you behind? So that's why you got to confront these people, so you can understand why. But if you already moved on from that, these are for the people that can't move on. Okay? But the people that moved on from that, and they have, okay, well, I know what I need to do. But the people that can't move on from their past, you need to confront your past and deal with it and learn to solve it. Man, I should have wrote that in my podcast. I do a lot better when I do this again, man. When I just go rambling on, I'm not reading from this. Let me see. Yeah, okay, so I explained that. You have several types of confidence, and we're going to go over a few of those today. I think about two that we're going to go over. So the first one is low confidence. You have to be it says here, it can be in results of fear of the unknown, criticism, unhappiness, feeling unprepared, poor time management, etc. So lack of confidence is created on what we believe about ourselves or what other people tell us. Perhaps you are scared of people laughing at you. If you make a mistake or ask a so-called stupid question, thinking like this can highly prevent you from doing the things you ever wanted to do. Okay? I believe that the consequences are too painful or embarrassing. But guess what? You know what's more painful and more embarrassing? Is you hiding behind that mask, knowing you can do better. Knowing that you can do better, but you letting everybody else around you tell you that you can't do it. Because you're scared of them laughing at you. You're scared of them telling you that you're stupid, and you're afraid to be criticized for what you want to do. You feel me? Man, this should have been on my podcast, man. This is good. This is good. I feel more hyped on this than on my podcast. I should redo it, huh? It's already posted. I can't delete it. I don't know how. So, overconfidence. This is another form of confidence, and it also can be an issue. I look at it both ways. Let me explain. One type of I disagree with this because with overconfidence can lead to failure, but that can be a good thing on how you look at it. This keeps you out of your comfort zone, and it keeps you willingly to push yourself and to learn and to adapt to tough situations that you are going through. But if you weren't never overconfident in a situation, you would never learn to step out of your comfort zone. So that's why I say it can go both ways. But the downside of being overconfident is that people can come across to you, or that you can come across people as arrogant or egotistical. And this is how you can hurt. And I mean, this can hurt you when you're trying to build a relationship with a person or a family. Filled 6 shares, market share, AV. She already has that. Sorry, talking about stocks. So I want to go ahead and teach you guys on how to keep your confidence, how to keep it. So I'm trying to make this quick because I got to download this into my phone. So how to build it. The most important factor is planning and preparing for the unknown. For example, you have a job interview. The next morning you get in your car, you start it up and nothing happens. Well, you gotta have a backup plan too. You gotta start planning for something and having a backup plan. That's a backup plan. You need to have a backup plan. Backup plan is, hey bud, tomorrow I have a job interview. You think you can swing by my house in case something happens to my car? Yeah, I got it. Boom. There's your backup plan right there. Now you're not gonna be late for your job interview. Now how to prepare for your job interview is different. You gotta break it down into different steps. Yeah, we all know we're going to the job interview. We're gonna shake his hand. We're gonna talk to him. We're gonna try to make a couple jokes. Blah blah blah. You gotta break it. You gotta break it down. I'm gonna stick my chest out. I'm gonna be confident. Look him dead in the eyes. Shake his hand with a firm grip, with a smile. Tell him that I'm glad that you have the time today to speak to me. I'm really excited for this interview. Something like that along those lines. And then you just go from there. See what I mean? You gotta break the stuff down. Bop, bop, bop. Positive thoughts. It's very powerful, and it's a way to improve your confidence. Helen Keller once said, optimism is a faith that leads to achievement, but nothing can be done without hope and confidence. We'll also go down to reconditioning, the way that you think about your life, knowing your strengths and weaknesses. Write them down on a piece of paper. And by doing that, you have more of a greater chance of understanding your strengths and weaknesses. So write them down. Don't just say them out loud. Don't say them out loud. Then look at that piece of paper. Study it. There's not much that needs to be said on this one, but it's mistakes. You gotta understand that. You're gonna make your mistakes. You gotta understand that. You're gonna make your mistakes, and you just gotta embrace it and learn from it. accept compliments and compliment yourself. But don't let it get to you and hold on to it, because when people stop giving you compliments, you stop doing what you are good at, and you start thinking, and then you start to think that you are not good anymore because you are not hearing those compliments. You understand what I'm saying? So don't soak it up. Don't soak up those compliments, because once they're gone, you stop receiving them. What happens? You start having faith in what you thought that you were great at, because the only thing that was keeping you high was those compliments. So you gotta tell yourself, yeah, man, I can do this shit. I don't need nobody. You need people to support you, but you don't need their compliments. Because once those compliments are gone, you're gone, man. Don't live on that high on other people's compliments. You know what you're capable of doing, so stick to it. Find yourself a role model. On my podcast, I spoke about my role models. I'm not going to bring them up here. If you want to know who they are and why, go to my podcast. It's on Spotify. See what they are doing on a daily basis that makes them who they are. Take notes on their behavior and how they communicate with others and how they present themselves. Vince Lombardi said, confidence is contagious, so is lack of confidence. So is lack of confidence. So what are they doing on a daily basis? How do they handle themselves in tough situations? Are they losing their anger? Are they humble? Are they patient? Are they kind? You know, what are they doing? Study them. Study that person you look up to. Second to last is be assertive. Stand up for what you believe in and sticking to your principles, but keep calm and feel good about what you believe in. That's really important. So stick to it. The last thing is avoid arrogance. As your confidence grows and you become successful, avoid feeling or acting superior to others. Remember, nobody is perfect. Nobody's perfect, and there is always more that you can learn. Celebrate your strengths and successes and recognize your weaknesses and failures. Give others credit for their work. Give others credit for their work. That's key. And praise sincerely. Be curious and polite. Show interest in what others are doing, and ask questions and get involved. So like I mentioned, there's no stupid questions. Ask them and get involved in it. Soak it all up. Get that knowledge. Learn. Expand. So that's going to end it here. I really thank you guys for tuning in. I'm still new to the podcast. I could have added some things what I spoke on here onto my podcast, and I could have added stuff on the podcast onto here. But it is what it is. You learn from it, and that's the journey, man. That's the journey. I'm just really looking forward to it. What this whole channel thing is going for me, and hopefully that my words can inspire somebody, and that it will change their lives. So, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Please leave a comment on what else I can do. But just thank you for tuning in, and I really appreciate you guys' time. Thank you. It means a lot. Take care.